Praise Jesus, everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So this is one of those short videos that I call Memory Lane. One of the memories that I want to share with you. As I was getting ready this morning, combing my hair, I remembered it and I'm like, this is something that I would like to share now that it's funny to me. At the moment, when it happened, it was embarrassing and not funny. My wig fell off. So long time ago, I was getting ready to go and hang out with my friends. I put on my wig, a beautiful wig, I remember it very well, and off I went. So we were sitting, it was late evening, we were sitting in a group around, I think we were around a table or, anyway, but we were sitting in a group, having a good time, sharing laughs and all that stuff. Then somebody made a joke that was really, really funny. So I bent my head down to laugh because it was so funny. So, that laughter that you really can't contain. I bent my head down to laugh. And guess what happened? What I saw looking down there, when I opened my eyes down there, my wig was down on the floor. I was like, okay, so now what do I do? Has anybody seen me? How do I get up? I was confused. I was confused. So anyway, I stayed down there, put my hand, picked it up, threw it over my head, and slowly lifted my head up. And, I began to glance sideways to see if anybody had noticed. But fortunately, people were still laughing about that joke that had been made, So everybody was kind of consumed in that laughter and excitement. Meanwhile, my state of mind was now different. I was busy thinking, okay, so among all this group, surely somebody must have spotted my wig falling off. And I have put it back on. But what if I have put it back on backwards? Because, I bent over and I just picked it up and threw it back. So I'm thinking, what if I have put it back on backwards and now everybody's going to see, like, I must be looking crazy. I was just in this state of mind. So anyway, I stand up, excuse myself, I stand up, I'm going to use the bathroom. And, very quickly, I slip away, go to the bathroom. When I reach the bathrooms, the line at the bathroom was something else. So I had to stand outside first to wait. And as I'm standing out, anyone who would be looking at me, all I could think about or imagine was that they're looking at my wig, which I must have put upside down or the other way around, or somehow I must have been looking like a crazy person. Eventually, I go into the bathroom, look in the mirror. Oh, guess what? I had actually put it on correctly, just a little details, where you have to slide it that side. And at that time, there were those wigs that, when you do that, they fall off. These days, there are clips all over. When you do that, nothing happens. But at that time, the ones that were there, you just have to be really, really careful. I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know if I had forgotten that I had a wig on. I think I must have forgotten because I'm not, a wig kind of person. But anyway, so in the bathroom, I had put it on right. Then I just, had to tilt it a bit here and there and then set it up correctly and, do some touch up, when you're out there and then you go in the bathroom, that's the time you use to touch up. And I stood there and I was like, wow. So now my biggest issue was who saw me, who saw that happening. And I felt like whoever I look at and the person looks at me for a long time, that person must have seen what happened to me. So I go back to where my friends were. I sit, the conversation, I wasn't even now paying attention to the conversation. Yet we had gone out to have a good time, but now this that had happened, I'm telling you, this was horrible. A big group of friends, all of us in a like a circle around the table, having such a great time, all of us looking so good, you know, and then boom, my wig is off. Like all that helped me was everybody was enjoying whatever joke had been made. So they were not really attentive to my dilemma at that time. But anyway, I think nobody really saw. I think because with the kind of friends that I have, they're kind of like me. Like if anything happened, they would immediately say something about it. So somehow I think I was so fast. I just went down, saw it there, picked it up. But of course, when it has happened to you, you don't think. All you're thinking about is who saw me. So that is what happened to me. Now, that was trauma. To me, that was trauma. Ever since that happened to me, I have stayed away from wigs. I don't care whether it stays there, whether it's a new type, and they tell you that as long as it's a wig that you're just going to put on and put it off, I stayed away because I was really traumatized. It's just recent years, recently that, I get like 1-2 wigs and that I will put on. Maybe if I'm going to church, I put it on, and as soon as I get home, even, I won't even stay in it. I was so traumatized that I won't even stay in it. I'll just go use it, come home and take it off. Like I don't feel, and these days they're good because now it won't come off. It will stay there, it's firm. But I think because of that trauma that I went through, I only imagine that if anything happens and it falls off again, or if somehow somebody just runs their hand over my head and pulls it off, something. So, so I just don't know. Wigs, me and wigs, like I said, I have my two, but they're secure, but I just can't. Ever since that situation. And interestingly enough, when I thought that I had the worst situation, one time I was telling friends about it. Years later, I was talking to some friends about it, and one of my friends, as we were talking, we were also another group of ladies, and we were talking about our experiences. One said, "You think you went through the worst? Mine was worse." I was like, what could be worse than that? And she said, now this is a she said, but it actually happened. She said she was getting baptized. She was getting baptized, and they, you know how it is in church, you're getting baptized and a group of the congregation is there, everybody's watching you there in the water, and so she was getting baptized, and they dipped her head. Somehow I think she had forgotten to take it off, or she had wrapped it up thinking that it won't come off, but they dipped her head in the water and back up, and as she began to get out, to move closer to the edge to get out of the water, she's seeing people pointing behind her. Guess what was behind her? Swimming right there on top of the water, her wig. Now that one was a classic to me. That was a classic compared to mine. When she narrated this, I looked at her, I said, what? And I thought I had gone through the worst embarrassment or situation. Wow. Actually, I think I had like a million questions to ask her. I was like, what did you do? What? And she's like, she saw people pointing there. She had nothing to do. She just went right back, a few steps back, picked it up like nothing. That's all she was left to do, was act like nothing has happened. She picked it up and gently walked off, out of the water. Now, what beats that one? What beats that one? So crazy things happen, but I mean, it's all funny. After you have been through it, it's so hysterical, And I was so glad to hear hers there, because then now I found comfort in mine, because I'm like, okay, at least mine, my head tilted, it fell, and nobody acted like they had seen, so I guess mine is a little better. that's how I felt now after hearing hers. But I had hers years later, because mine happened when I was still in my country. Hers happened when she was in this country, so that is years later. But anyway, I just wanted to share that memory with you. So I have that thing about wigs. I'm like, this wig, I don't know if I can handle it. I mean, even after knowing that these days they are different, it can stay on your head, I'm still not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable. Like I said, I'll put it on for that moment and immediately rush to take it off. It's one of those things that you're like, this one, no. After what I went through one time, no. But that is just a memory that I wanted to share with you. You know, one of the memories that I look back on and I just laugh. So thank you for listening to me. I hope that made you laugh or smile, whatever your day looks like. It's always good to have something to smile about or laugh about. You know, we all go through different situations where life is just hard. Your mind is consumed, bills, sickness, stress, so many things going on in life. But if you can at least sit down and have a light moment and laugh, that's why I decided to have some of these videos of my daily video of you know, the scripture, some of these videos just to lighten up the situation, because it's good to laugh, it's good to smile. So with all that being said, keep your eyes focused on the prize.